Hello, so I am going to be walking through an equation on my paper, and then I'm going to graph my final answer on Desmos. So my equation is x to the fourth minus x to the third minus 16x squared plus 4x plus 48. So the leading coefficient is just x, which means that because it's positive, it's gonna be starting positive and ending positive, and we know that because the leading degree is 4. Therefore, there are 4 x's, and every x is an intercept, and so, yeah. Now to start this problem, we have to come up with factors of 48 because that is the final number, and by doing that you get 1, 2, pretty sure 3, 4, not 5, yes to 6, not to 7, yes to 8, it's 4 times 12, 3 times 16, 2 times 24, and 1 times 48. These are all plus minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 16, 24, 48 because it can be negative or positive. So we can easily eliminate negative or positive 1 because we don't have to do any complicated division methods. So 1 minus 1 minus 16 plus 4 plus 48 is greater than 0, so that's not going to work. 1 plus 1 minus 16 is negative 14 minus 4 plus 48. That is also greater than 0, so it doesn't work. So now we're going to move on to 2, and I'm going to start by just plugging in the x and negative 2. So this is going to go for positive 2 because, in order to make the equation x minus 2, 0, x would have to be positive 2. So in our first box, x is going to equal x to the fourth, and that's a given because it's like the area, and so the other number on top would have to be x to the third. Multiplying that by negative 2, because that is the number on the bottom, we get negative 2 x to the third. That has to equal negative x to the third, so we also get x to the third in this box up here, so that this and this add up to make negative x to the third. So we're going to continue that logic that we have, and x to the third divided by x would be x squared, and that's going to go on top, and so you multiply that, you get negative 2x squared. To get to negative 16, you have to have a minus 14x squared. Negative 14x squared divided by x is just going to be negative 14x. Multiply that by 2, you get 28x. Now, 28x. In order to make that 4, you need minus 24x. That divided by x is going to be negative 24. Negative 24 times 2, 48. Bam. This comes out with a remainder of 0. Therefore, positive 2 does work. So now we take this equation from the top and this equation from the side, and those are going to be the next two that we work with. For right now, we can forget about x minus 2 because we still need to factor that top equation, which is x to the third plus x squared minus 14x minus 24. So, like we did for the last problem, we have to find factors of negative 24. So we could just look back up factors of 48. We can cross out 48. We can cross out 16. And, yeah, and now we have it. So, again, easy, 1 and negative 1. We can test that pretty quickly. So if we test 1, that's not going to work. Negative 1, that will also not work. So we're going to go to 2. And by the looks of it, we might want to try negative 2. I don't know why. Just kind of want to switch things up because I went positive 2 last time. So this time we're going to have x and regular 2, because in order to make x plus 2 0, x has to be equal to negative 2, and that is the number we're trying. So x to the third divided by x is going to be x squared. So we put that at the top. X squared times 2 is going to be 2x squared. Alright, so just simple. We did this in the last problem. The x here, and there's an x squared in that box. And if you think about this like area, if that side's x and the area is x squared, x to the third, what do you need as the other one? You need x squared, because x squared and x times x equals x to the third. In order to get 2x squared to 1x squared, we need a negative x squared. That's going to give us a negative x, which gives us negative 2x again. Negative 2x, in order to get negative 14x, you would need negative 12x. This would come out as negative 12 on the top. Negative 12 times 2, negative 24. Now, again, remainder of 0. Therefore, x plus 2 also is a binomial of this equation. So now we have come to x minus 2 times x plus 2 times x squared minus x minus 12. Now, we do not have to do the box method for x squared minus x minus 12 because we learned how to factor trinomials. Therefore, I have x squared minus x minus 12. What two numbers add up to negative 12, or multiply to negative 12 that add up to negative x? Factors of negative 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Negative 1 and 12, negative 12 and 1, those don't work. Negative 2 plus 6, that doesn't work. Negative 6 plus 2 also doesn't work. Negative 3 plus 4 creates positive 1, but negative 4 plus 3 creates negative 1. Therefore, that comes to negative 4, so x minus 4 times x plus 3. Okay, so with that, yeah, so now we have all four of our binomials. These are going to be x minus 2, x plus 2, x minus 4, x plus 3. So, as we see here, we've done our factoring, we've gotten our binomials. Now we have all these binomials, and it is time to graph. So, for our graph, we're going to have to use Desmos. Gotta pull that up real quickly. Desmos. And go to graphing calculator and can't reverse my camera. So this is our blank graph. Now our equations are x minus 2, x plus 2, x minus 4, and x plus 3. So what we have to do is we have to get those to equal 0. So x minus 2, x is going to have to equal 2. X plus 2, x is going to have to equal negative 2. X minus 4, x is going to have to equal 4. X plus 3 is going to have to equal negative 3. So if we take those, we can plot them in on the graphing calculator at 2, 0, comma 2, oops, wrong one, 2, comma 0, at negative 2, 0, at negative 3, 0, and at 4, 0. So our points are going to look like that. Now I don't know if I'm able to sketch on this graph. I hope I can. Not sure if I can though. I might not be able to. But as we discussed earlier, our leading coefficient was positive, therefore our graph is going to start positive up here, and it's going to come down here, it's going to come back up into the 2, it's going to go all the way up, come back down through this 2, and then we said it was positive, so it stays positive because of an even amount of x's, and comes back up through the 4. So our graph is going to go, starting from up here, go down, up, down, up. Now, if we plug this equation into Desmos, hopefully we will be seeing that down, up graph. If that doesn't make sense what I'm saying, I will give a light sketch in my book. We have points at 4, 2, 2, negative 2, and 3. So we go and this is what our graph is going to look like. Now, if we sketch it into Desmos properly, we should actually be getting that graph, or a graph like that, just with different curves, for our equation. And so, let's plug that in real quick, and, minus 16x plus 4x plus 48. Okay, well, equals f of x. Now, I don't know why that's not working. That's kind of disturbing. F of x equals x to the 4th, minus x to the 3rd, minus x to the 3rd, minus 16x squared plus 4x plus 48. Okay, so as we see, we actually do get that pattern that I mentioned. If I zoom out enough, you can see the curves that we do, actually, that I did sketch. Oh, sorry, I don't know if you could see that. There you go. And that is how all that works, and that is how you do it. So, thank you.